is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome in. My name is Richie, live here to talk about the New York Jets rookie camp coming on up this weekend. The Jets have a new 2025 draft class to be excited about, Jets Nation. And in this show right here, I wanted to break down what to expect from the New York Jets 2025 rookie camp. You get a lot in these rookie camps. You get to hear from them, finally, press conference. We've only really heard from Arman Membu. We heard a little bit of right when they were drafted, Mason Taylor talked to the media a little bit. But I really want to hear from these young guys. I'm excited about it. And I think that also we'll get their numbers, their jersey numbers, their unofficial ones. I think that that's not important for everybody, but some Jets fans are like, what numbers are these rookies going to be rocking for the New York Jets? And I think there's some undrafted free agents that I wanted to talk about to watch out for in rookie camp. And there's a lot of other stuff around the Jets world that I wanted to talk about today. You know, we had a big news happen this morning with George Pickens getting traded over to the Dallas Cowboys. How does that impact the Jets? Are they going to be interested in a wide receiver? I also wanted to bring up a Bleacher Report article, and we're live here on Bleacher Report right now, that suggested the Jets to go after Romeo Doubs from the Green Bay Packers, which I think is a very intriguing target for the Jets if they wanted to add another wide receiver. So we're going to break it all down right here in this show. So let's get straight into business. Now, the first thing I want to highlight, of course, are the rookies. The Jets are going to be reporting to rookie minicamp. And it's been a while, it feels like. Usually rookie minicamp happens directly after the draft or the weekend after, but this is 2 weekends or 3 weekends, even it feels like, after the 2025 NFL draft. And you look at what the Jets brought in this year's class, there's a lot to be excited about. I genuinely believe that this draft class is unique in a way where you look at it from top to bottom. There are potential starters in year number one right out of the bat. You got Arman Membu, who will start for the New York Jets at right tackle day number one. I guarantee you that. You got Mason Taylor, who will be the starting tight end next to Jeremy Ruckert, in my opinion, right out of the bat. You got Azareye'h Thomas. Now, he's going to compete with Brandon Stephens for that cornerback 2 spot. And Stephens is coming off a down year for Baltimore. The Jets brought him in on a decent-sized contract. But I would not be shocked if Azareye'h Thomas won that job and he's starting for the New York Jets. Malachi Moore, safety from Alabama. The Jets do not have a starting free safety right now, and I think that Malachi Moore can easily fill in that void and match up with Andre Cisco to be the 2 starting safeties. We got Tony Adams, who will be competing for the spot as well. And then other guys like Arian Smith, will he get an opportunity to start? Probably not. He'll get some time as a rookie. When you're a wide receiver, you can be wide receiver 4 or 5 in the NFL and still get on the football field and have an impact. So there's a lot to talk about. But one specific rookie that I feel like is getting not talked about enough by Jets Nation, and I made a video on him, it's Brady Cook, the quarterback. Now with Jordan Travis retiring, it opens up an opportunity for Brady Cook. It absolutely does. And you look at what Brady Cook did in his time in Missouri, especially 2 years ago. He was fantastic. And then he kind of had a down year this past year for his standards, which led him to go undrafted. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I expect him to be a stud for the Jets and he's someone to look forward to, but it's rookie camp. And when it's rookie camp, you look at the quarterback. You need to have a QB to throw to these wide receivers, throw to Mason Taylor, throw to Arian Smith. We also have some undrafted running backs and undrafted wide receivers. Donovan Edwards from Michigan, I think, is an intriguing name the Jets brought in. I did not expect Donovan Edwards from Michigan to go undrafted. That's another guy who had a fantastic year 2 seasons ago and then kind of had a down year and replaced in that Michigan running back room this past season. Remember, he was the cover of NCAA football with Travis Hunter and Quentin Ewers. Like, he was a face in the NCAA. And then I think, Skinner as well, the wide receiver, 6'5". The Jets have some guys to look forward to coming up in the rookie minicamp. And you got to look at this Jets team as an opportunity for these young guys to go out there and make their name be known. And I'm really excited about it because you look at all of this Jets team on paper, they're young, they're dynamic. We have an opportunity to make some noise right out of the bat from a youth standpoint, and it all starts with rookie minicamp. It absolutely all starts with rookie minicamp. Now, I do feel like the Jets not having Jordan Travis on the roster anymore is definitely putting more of a spotlight on Brady Cook, and I think that's important. Now, if you guys did not connect the dots yet, Brady Cook and Arman Membu teammates. They were indeed teammates in college, so there's that connection. And I think what you can expect from Brady Cook is simply compete for the quarterback 3 spot. Right now, it's Fields at QB1, which is fantastic. Tyrod Taylor, very solid backup quarterback. But quarterback 3 is completely up for grabs. And you got Adrian Martinez and Brady Cook competing for quarterback number 3. Martinez had some flashes last year, but I'm not really expecting much from him. I think Brady Cook actually has some tools to work with as a quarterback. And I think someone that I really like something about his game that I love, his athleticism is off the charts. I mean, you talk about someone that could actually not match Justin Fields' athleticism, but that's where he's good at, is moving with the ball in his hands, creating people miss in the open field, picking up the first down with his legs, making throws on the run. But his issue is scanning the field, processing rhythm throws, all that type of stuff. So we shall see with Brady Cook what he looks like at the end of the day. Now, I also wanted to talk about the narrative around the Jets receiver room. The Jets did bring in some undrafted free agents. They did sign a 6'5" beast, undrafted free agent, Skinner, that I'm excited about. Also, we, of course, drafted Arian Smith. And Arian Smith is such an intriguing name. The wide receiver from Georgia is a guy where I feel like some people are just writing this guy off like a bust before the guy even gets his foot on the field. I don't understand why. Someone in the chat maybe can enlighten me. I mean, I understand that the narrative around him is he's not great and it was a reach, but I'm not someone that wants to give up and write someone off before he even begins his opportunity. So I think Arian Smith has a serious opportunity to prove the doubters wrong. He had a fantastic Senior Bowl. That is something that I wanted to note. He definitely had a great Senior Bowl. And I was there at the Senior Bowl, and I remember him there just absolutely balling out at the Senior Bowl. This is a guy that has 4.36 speed. I mean, you can't coach that. You can't coach that. But what you can coach in this league, is how to catch, how to run routes at the next level, how to be an NFL receiver. And I think he's going to get coached up. And I think that's why the Jets drafted him, is because they believe in his raw ability, his raw speed, and they drafted him for a specific trait, and that is speed. And in today's NFL, you need to have burners. And let's be honest, the Jets lack burners from a playmaking standpoint. There's nobody at the wide receiver spot that is a quote-unquote speedster. That's not Garrett Wilson's game. Garrett Wilson makes people miss. Great route runner, spectacular catch ability, catch radius. We all know what makes Garrett Wilson great. It's not having 4.3 speed. And you look across the roster at that position. Malachi Corley, he's not a burner. He's more of a yak guy, power runner. Will break tackles, hopefully, and thrive as in year number 2. Alan Lazard, veteran wide receiver, who just sent out a tweet today that kind of makes it seem like, yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's staying on this football team. Josh Reynolds, a veteran, 30 years old. He's not no burner. Xavier Gipson, I guess you can guess, is the only other quote-unquote guy that has speed. And I don't even know if he's a lock to make the roster, Xavier Gipson, to be honest. Like, I don't want to rule him out. I think he has a potential to be a solid receiver in the slot for the Jets, but it's a crowded room from a standpoint of open competition, right? And I think that is something that I'm really, really excited about, man. I really am excited about the Jets receiver room from a standpoint that you guys are all about. Now, the speed element is going to be fantastic. I really, really do think that what Arian Smith brings to this table from a speed element is going to be off the charts. It really is. And I want to correct myself. I said Garrett Wilson does not have 4.3 speed. He does have 4.3 speed. He does. And what I meant by that is the speed part of Garrett Wilson's game is not what he's really known for. And that's what makes Garrett Wilson so good. He ran a 4.38 at the combine. Arian Smith ran a 4.36. And the thing about Arian Smith, what he has is a track speed. And that's really the only speedster that we have on the roster from the wide receiver standpoint. Now, Breece Hall brings speed. Braylon Allen's more power at the running back position. So this regime is definitely going to want to implement the speed element. And that's why they brought in Arian Smith. So we'll see if that's something that's going to help this team out. Now, one player I wanted to highlight as well in the show that I'm really excited to see out there in rookie minicamp is Mason Taylor. I think Mason Taylor, He's going to be one of the fan favorites. I can already tell. We've been looking for a good tight end for a long time, and I think Mason Taylor provides stability at that tight end spot in the second round. He's the third best tight end in this class. A lot of Jets fans wanted Tyler Warren from Penn State, and this guy's going to go out there and be a stud. The rookie camp is going to show it, and OTAs he's going to show it. Training camp he's going to show it. And when it comes, he's just your typical pro. Like, you just know what to expect from Mason Taylor. He's going to go out there and work. He has Hall of Fame players in his blood. He's just someone that I feel like perfectly exemplifies what Aaron Glenn is trying to build, right? That's something that we could all come together and realize. Mason Taylor is somebody that this entire class is going to fall in love with, right? Everybody around the Jets organization is going to love Mason Taylor. And he's just going to be that reliable guy, right? Even as a rookie, I'm going to rely on him as a fan to go help us out, pick up some first downs, go be a red zone threat for Justin Fields. And Fields loves his tight ends. Justin Fields does indeed love his tight ends. So I think Mason Taylor in rookie camp is going to look pretty good, and he's going to flash 110%. So big shout out to our guy, Mason Taylor, because I think that he's a fan favorite for a reason, and Jets fans have been looking for a tight end like him for a while. And I also think him matched up with Jeremy Ruckert and Stone Smart from the Chargers, like, that's a young tight end room with some upside. I'm not going to lie. A definitely young tight end room that has tremendous upside. Now, how can we talk about the rookies without bringing up our first-round pick, Mr. Arman Membu? I think Arman Membu is, you're not going to get a lot out of rookie camp, but you will be seeing Arman Membu, the first-round pick, go out there and make some headlines. Just going out there, see what he looks like with the pads on, see what he looks like in a Jets uniform. And the selection of Arman Membu, now that it's been a few weeks since, like, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you talk about solidifying that offensive line. He has that mauler mentality. And you know what this Jets team is going to try to do is prioritize the trenches, prioritize what the identity of this football team is going to be, which is running the football, protecting the quarterback, winning down in the trenches when it matters the most, right? And we had one hole on the offensive line heading into the offseason, and it was filled. And that's right tackle, man. You draft Olu 2024, you draft Membu 2025, and now you have your two bookend tackles for a long time. Do you know how much of a luxury it is to have that? So I think Membu out there, it's going to be fun, and we can just, as a Jets fan base, hope that this offensive line can stay healthy, man, because I guarantee you that's the only thing that's going to get in the way of this offensive line is health. If we can stay healthy as a unit all season, we definitely need depth. I'm not saying our depth is awful, but man, if we stay healthy, at least 4 of the 5 of these guys can stay healthy, man, it is fantastic. I'm really excited about what Arman Membu is going to add to this team right out of the bat, because he is somebody that he's going to be a plug and play. Now, I also don't want to put the expectation on this guy that he's going to be an all-pro as a rookie. I think that's a little bit unfair, if I'm being honest, for us to just be like, yeah, dude, he's going to be as good as the veterans in this league and just be that great. Like, that's a little unrealistic. I don't want to put that expectation on him. I don't think that's fair, but I definitely feel like the expectation from Jets fans is for him to be a rock. And I mean, Olu looked fantastic as a rookie, for being honest. Olu was out there looking fantastic. He had his rookie hiccups, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, you look at what he's capable of, you never know. As a rookie, he's going to thrive. Absolutely going to thrive. Now, another rookie that is my personal favorite, I'm not going to lie, out of all these picks, it is, you guys know it, I've been hyping him up since we drafted him as my favorite guy. It's Azareye'h Thomas. I'm excited to see him out there as a rookie in rookie camp. I'm not going to lie, man. The Jets are going to look for their CB2 next to Sauce, and I think Thomas is going to be that guy. We needed to find DJ Reed's replacement. We signed Brandon Stevens in free agency, right? But then the Jets decided to not only have Stevens to be the lockup CB2. We drafted Azareye'h Thomas in the 3rd round, and this guy, exactly what Aaron Glenn's looking for in his cornerback room. Long, lengthy, press you at the line of scrimmage, ball skills. This guy was a projected late 1st round, early 2nd round pick before he fell because he ran a 4.5 at the combine. And I think this is somebody that's going to be a very fun player to watch. He's not going to be able to wear his number 8 because the veteran Andre Cisco already has that number. I don't know if that means a lot to him, that number, but he won't be wearing it. Not a big deal, of course. But I think you look at the secondary for the Jets, that is slowly becoming a big strength of the Jets. Now, under Saleh was a huge strength. You talk about having a quarterback trio of Sauce, Reed, and Michael Carter II. That was fantastic. The safety room has always been up in the air, and I think the safety room is the reason why I really love the upside of the secondary now. You got Sauce, Michael Carter II, the slot that people are forgetting about, Stevens and Thomas competing for CB number 2, and then the safety room, that's going to be fun, man. We signed Andre Cisco in free agency, of course, but the guy that I'm looking forward to seeing is Malachi Moore, dude. Malachi Moore out of Alabama, that is somebody that looks like he knows how to play the game at the NFL level. I mean, he really, really does. You talk about a captain. I'm excited to see what he looks like with the New York Jets in rookie camp. This is somebody that just knows how to play the game at a high level. When you are a multi-year starter at Alabama on defense, do you know what that means? Especially a captain, a 2-time captain in Alabama. You are depended on to be playing very good football. You need to have a high football IQ. You need to know what plays are coming, adjust, keeping everybody aligned, because he's the guy that was communicating in the back end. And I think having that as a rookie and him develop into our starting safety, I really think that we found a starting safety in the 5th round, or the 4th, 5th round, wherever we drafted him. I think that is going into this draft. I knew the Jets are going to try to find a safety in the mid rounds to be a starter. And I think we got it. And look, think of the Lions drafting Kirby Joseph. I'm not going to say this guy, Malachi Moore, is going to be as good as Kirby Joseph, but Kirby Joseph was a mid-round pick for Detroit. And he was developed to become a dog. He was developed into a beast, right? So I think that's something that you got to remind yourselves about the development of these guys. So I think Malachi Moore entering rookie camp, he's got something to prove. He realizes that he's got a lot of reasons to be excited to get drafted by the Jets, because we have so many players on this roster that he's going to be able to compete with, that I think that he's going to be able to contend to actually make the team. I'm serious about that. I think that he can actually, not just make the team, be a starter. That's what I meant to say. Be a starter. The players that need to prove to make the team, that's the undrafted free agents, which I wanted to get into next. The undrafted free agency is an interesting pool here, because I think there's a lot of intriguing names. There absolutely is. And you look at the undrafted free agents on your screen, I think that Notre Dame safety Jordan Clark, who is the son of ESPN analyst Ryan Clark, that's an intriguing name. I'm looking at. I like him a lot. I think Dean Clark, we got 2 Clarks at safety. 2 Clarks. And I think both of them have a chance to make an impact here. Quentin Skinner from Kansas, that's a 6'5" receiver, folks. We're going to see him out there at rookie camp. I guarantee you that. You turn on the highlight reel of rookie camp, watch him go out there, make some plays in camp. Because a body like that is just off the charts. A body like that, you got to find an opportunity to thrive. You got to find an opportunity to thrive there, right? Donovan Edwards, we talked about a little bit. The running back from Michigan definitely has tremendous upside. And the running back room is solid for the Jets. We have our top 3 guys, Hall, Allen, and Davis. But running back 4 is up in the air. We have Zach Evans as running back 4, I believe. So we need that 4th running back. Izzy's no longer with the Jets. Can Donovan Edwards be the running back 4? I think that's a legit possibility. No doubt about it. And we got some intriguing defensive linemen as well. West Virginia, Mulba has some upside. Weston from Florida, defensive end. The other wide receiver we got, Jamal Pritchett. I think that's going to be an intriguing name. We got another Hall, the running back. Jared Bartlett from Cincinnati, the linebacker. And we got some offensive linemen in the house. Like, this is where the Jets are bringing in a lot of guys to try out, figure out if they have a role here with this Jets team to make the roster. And we've seen guys like Xavier Gibson make the team as an undrafted free agent. We've seen Jason Brownlee make the team. Bryce Huff make the team and get paid eventually. Like, undrafted free agents are they're interesting. And I think that we have a really fun group of guys to look forward to seeing if they fit what this Jets team is trying to implement with this organization. So I've never really seen Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn go to work yet, and no one has, but I'm really excited about it, man, and you guys should be too. Now, I want to get into a little bit about some Jets news that happened today, and it revolves around the wide receiver room. So let's get into that. Alan Lazard went out there and posted this on X, and what he posted was the famous GIF of Leonardo DiCaprio from Wolf of Wall Street that says, "I'm not leaving." So what does that tell us? Alan Lazard ain't going nowhere. Alan Lazard is not going nowhere. He's staying put with the Jets. And the reason why this is news is because a lot of Jets fans have been putting him in trade conversations. And I think it's more of the fan base that's wondering why he hasn't been traded than anybody. So I think that's why he sent this out. He's not going anywhere. And why would he? If you look at the state of the receiver room, why would he get traded? I know some people are like, well, he was bad with the Jets and with Rodgers. He was Rodgers' buddy, so why would we keep him? I don't know, man. You look at this Jets receiver room, I think he can definitely help this team out a little bit. That's how I look at it. I think he can help us out a little bit. I mean, he's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he could provide an impact. This team lacks veterans, by the way. And that's not a problem. There's a big youthful movement happening. But Lazard is a vet. He's been in this league for a minute. He knows he's a pro's pro. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm expecting him to go off, but I do find it interesting that he had this to say. Now, we did talk about this earlier as well, but Bleacher Report, and shout out to Bleacher Report, which we're live on right now, they posted an article. All right? They posted an article. And it was an interesting article because it lists some potential trades in the NFL. 4 NFL trades that should happen before the deadline. And the reason why it is interesting is because Romeo Doubs to the Jets is linked there. But another reason why it's interesting is because they predicted a trade. George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys is literally something they predicted. And that deserves some recognition. So shout out to Bleacher Report for being on the money with this. George Pickens to the Cowboys. So are they predicting something here? Are they predicting something to happen of a Romeo Doubs to the New York Jets, perhaps? So as I make this fit the screen, Romeo Doubs to the New York Jets is an interesting thing. And shout out to Bleacher Report, of course, for this. And I'll link it down below if you guys want to read it yourselves, because I think Romeo Doubs potentially coming to the Jets, it makes sense. I mean, we don't have a number 2 receiver right now that we're super confident in. Drafted Arian Smith, drafted Malachi Corley last year, who barely played as a rookie. Don't know what to expect. I think he's going to finally have an opportunity to show who he is in this league, Corley, and I'm excited about his upside. Xavier Gibson, and then the 2 vets of Lazard and Reynolds. I think Doubs is better than every single player I listed. We don't have a receiver next to Garrett Wilson. So I think Romeo Doubs being linked to the Jets on behalf of Bleacher Report makes sense. And I think it's not something I'm pounding the table for, but it makes sense from the Packers side of things as well. They got a logjam at wide receiver. They drafted 2 guys, Matthew Golden in particular in the first round. I mean, they're a loaded roster. They have a loaded depth chart at wide receiver, so he could be the odd man out. The one thing about him is injury prone, and he kind of had this weird fallout with the Packers where he didn't show up to practice because he got pissed about not, I don't know, getting the ball or something like that. Maybe he has some off the field issues that doesn't fit the culture of the Jets. That's a real possibility. But I had to bring this up because Bleacher Report brought it up, and Bleacher Report also predicted George Pickens to the Cowboys. This was released like a few days ago. And look at that. Even they put an editor's note. Pickens was traded to the Cowboys. So they're like, yeah, this happened. We were right. So I don't know. Maybe they're on to something with Romeo Doubs to the New York Jets. Now, Romeo Doubs is not the only guy I think the Jets should target at wide receiver. I think if you look at the free agency class, Amari Cooper is still out there if they want to bring in him. Keenan Allen is a guy if they want to bring in. Gabe Davis, I would be I would stay away from him. He just got released by the Jaguars, probably for a reason. But maybe the Jets have a trade. Maybe a guy like Chris Olave. I mean, I don't know if he's available, but if he is, I would definitely call the Saints. I know that he has some concussion issues, 100%, but I would get some medical information on him and make that call because the Saints are in a very interesting situation. Maybe they're wanting to sell a little bit, and I think the Jets could land a big receiver next to him for sure. You look at some teams around the league are prioritizing the number 2 receiver. The Cowboys trading for Pickens to pair him up with CeeDee Lamb. Right? The Eagles, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, just won the Super Bowl with that pair. We talk about the Buccaneers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I mean, the wide receiver duos, I can keep going. There's Puka Nacua was great. Cooper Kupp left. They replaced Cooper Kupp with Devontae Adams. So the wide receiver duos is a real thing. I don't think Romeo Doubs coming to the Jets is going to make us having a legit number 1, number 2. We have a legit number 1, and that's exciting, and Garrett Wilson, no doubt about it. But I think that, the number 2 is up in the air, and the Jets got to fill that. But maybe they can go the Buffalo Bills approach. The Bills don't even have a number 1. I mean, they got a bunch of number 2s, and it works. They got Khalil Shakir, all these guys, and Josh Allen won MVP because of it. So we shall see, man. We shall see. But that's the latest Jets news and all the stuff you need to know heading into rookie minicamp, baby. Rookie camp is this weekend. I'm going to try to provide all the updates you need right here on Jets Media. We'll be live on Bleacher Report next week at 8 p.m. because guess what next week is? Guess what next week is? Next week is the NFL schedule release. I'm excited about that, man. The NFL schedule release is coming out, and it's going to be a fun opportunity to see where the Jets are going this year. Now, we know the away opponents and we know the home opponents. We just don't know the time. We don't know the dates. We don't know what's prime time. We're going to London. Where's that game? What's week 1 looking like? Woo, I love when the schedule drops because that's when the offseason content really starts going. You get some record predictions. You get some cool ideas of what to expect from everybody across the league, the AFC East. Woo! Woo! I'm excited. Rookie camp, NFL schedule drop in, and then all of a sudden we'll turn us around and we'll be like, oh, OTAs is here, OTAs. And then there's going to be a long hiatus, long pause. It's like 6 weeks of in between OTAs and training camp. And that's when everything gets dull, but the anticipation and the excitement builds for training camp, which is in August. So there's a lot of fun things to look forward to, folks. Absolutely. And I'm going to have it all covered here on Jets Media. So one last time, I want to remind you guys that rookie camp begins this weekend. And you can expect all the draft picks, all the undrafted free agents to go out there and try to make an impact, try to make their presence be felt, presence be known. There's going to be a lot of guys fighting for their roster spots. And I love this time of year as a fan of football just because I love the underdog stories of players that get on the team as an undrafted free agent, try to make the team. I also love that the Jets in general are an underdog story already. Nobody's expecting much from the Jets this year. Nobody's expecting to make any noise. And I understand why. I'm not saying we shouldn't be underdogs. I'm not saying, why are they hyping up the Jets? I get it. But I like it. I like being under the radar. And as Aaron Glenn said himself, he wants this team to move in silence. And I think that's what they're on their way to do, is be a team that moves in silence. And we want to get recognition when it's actually felt on the football field. I don't want any more offseason hype. I don't want people hyping us up to win no divisions or anything. Let's go on the football field and prove who we are and earn the respect that way. Because I think we got way too much in our heads about the last few years with Aaron Rodgers, leveling up expectations. And I think it was a little bit too unrealistic for myself and a lot of people think. So with that, I'm going to sign off here on Bleacher Report. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I'll see you next week for the schedule drop, man. Let's go Jets, 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 Jets. Folks, we're still live on Jets Media on YouTube. Don't you go anywhere because let's go Knicks indeed, King Lowski, and let's go Juan freaking Soto, Knicks Nation. Guys, I want to remind you all that I will be live for Knicks Media tonight for a live reaction. If you guys want to come through, I would really appreciate that, man. It's going to be a lot of fun over there on Knicks Media. for sure. If you guys don't know, I do have a separate YouTube channel called Knicks Media, and I'm doing my live reaction over there. So make sure you guys come through and support me. That'll mean a lot. Here is the link right here to sign up for the live watch party, which I'm going to go start right now. So I got to go and set that up. I will see you guys over there. Let's go Jets as always. Peace out. Love you all. Let's go Mets as well. Peace.